Hey, what's up guys? This is the review of Samsung Galaxy On 5, which was recently launched. It's an 8GB black version. After using it for nearly a month, I can say it's kinda lived up to my expectations as a budget phone from Samsung. It costs less for the configuration you get if Samsung brand is to be taken into account. Although it won't be my only choice if I need to reconsider being my secondary phone. By a budget phone, I compare the price tag of the phone to its performance. First of all, it's a decently sized phone with a screen size of 5 inches. That is narrow enough for fairly comfortable use, and it's not too thick either as compared to its siblings On 7, which is a 5.5-inch phone. 5-inch phones have become a standard in phone industry, and it feels good to hold in the hand compared to the phones with larger displays. It has thicker, somewhat flatter body, and more importantly, the back bezel is curved. That actually helps you grip the thick phone without any discomfort. It weighs around 149 grams and it doesn't put a crease in your pocket. It comes only in two colors, white and black. Both the front panel and the back panel is black in color, and the sides are silver with glossy edges. The side of the phone is flat, which merges with the back panel curved bezel, giving it a rounded look. The buttons, power button to the right, volume rocker to the left, and the home button at front are relatively clicky and decently tactile. However, the volume up button was a bit difficult to press and didn't provide a proper feedback. The back panel is flimsy with faux leather texture, though is deceptive as the plastic on the back feels cheap, which is always the case with Samsung, but it performs quite well. Overall, I felt this design to be outdated by light years and build quality not up to the mark, making you wish to go a decade into the past and feel good about the phone. Upon the front of the phone is beautiful crispy 5-inch 720p resolution Super AMOLED capacitive touchscreen. The display is slightly brighter with pinkish hue, high color saturated with good viewing angles. This is definitely not the best display out there, but one can work with it. There is no auto brightness adjust sensor present, and neither is any LED light. The screen is flanked on its top by a 5-megapixel camera, sensors, and an earpiece. The sound from the earpiece is pretty good, and you can easily hear out the other person during a call. On the bottom of the screen is the home button with capacitive buttons on its sides, which don't light up on being touched. This is a 4G enabled dual SIM phone, but only one SIM can be used for 4G at a time. Has 1.3 GHz quad-core Cortex A7 CPU, Mali T720 GPU, and Exynos 3475 chipset. Internal storage is 8GB with a microSD card slot and has 1.5GB of RAM. This configuration translates into a smooth experience. I throw a lot at phones and I can easily notice when they hang up, stutter, start feeling dizzy or slow down. For this phone I can say that it didn't hang for whatever I threw at it, but sometimes it did slow down a bit, and that's quite normal. Other than this, multitasking, opening closing apps, gaming was pretty smooth. Battery life on this phone is pretty good. We all know that it has 2600 mAh battery, and considering that it has 5-inch display and decent specs, don't expect it to get the longest battery life, but it does pretty well. I have got somewhere around 4.5 hours of screen on time, and I will give it a rating of B-. But it's not the screen on time that counts here. It's the standby time. You can sometimes end the day with 20% of charge still left. On using 4G, it drains the battery pretty fast. However, there's no quick charging or wireless charging, which is quite a bummer for some people. I personally have started getting used to quick charging. The phone is equipped with backfiring speaker, which is not loud enough. You consistently need to keep the hand behind the speaker to make the sound reflect towards you. In noisy environments, it is nearly impossible to listen to the speakers. However, in quiet locations, they perform nicely, but you miss a lot of details in the sound. A front-firing speaker is always a good choice. I wonder why Samsung don't opt for front-firing speakers. The rear camera is 8 megapixel and can be used for casual photographs. You cannot rely on it if you want the photographs to look great. Otherwise, it's a decent capturing camera. It is an autofocus camera with a flash, and double tapping the home button gets you into it even if the phone is locked. The capturing speed is somewhat slow as the camera takes time to autofocus. The photos themselves are quite nice during daylight. You get sharp photos, but some details are missing from them. The software removes some grain from the photos, making them lose detail. There is a Pro mode in the camera where you can adjust metering, ISO and white balance. However, there is no HDR. You can also use continuous shot mode in the camera to take quick shots in succession. Low light grain and blur can be seen in photos if the hands are shaky. Overall, the camera is not that bad. It also has 5 megapixel front-facing camera, which can be used for video chats and selfies, and it gets the job done. The phone sometimes gets warm on playing games, but the heat dissipates quite nicely and doesn't hamper with the experience. Performance has been somewhat clean and smooth, and it can play many games without a hitch. but you need to keep an eye on the storage as it quickly goes down on installing large games. A micro SD card comes handy for that purpose, so this phone will help you pass your free time with some good games. It comes preloaded with Android Lollipop, with no news about update to Marshmallow yet. I love the clean stock Android, and this phone didn't disappoint me on that aspect. Yes, it has touchwiz, but we are used to it now. No bloatwares from Samsung for this phone, and that's a nice thing. So, at the end of the day, I felt pretty good with the performance the phone gave me. I would have liked certain things to be seen in this phone, but considering the price you pay, it's loaded with everything you need. It obviously can't be a daily driver for me, but if you are short on budget and don't mind the performance, you'll be having a good time with it. Now, would I recommend it for buying? Heart-wise, no. But brain-wise, yes. A low price tag with decent specs, backed up by Samsung brand, it's a good package and value for money. Today in market we see a lot of phones in this price range with much better specs, but being a Samsung device you can get some peace of mind. This phone might disappoint you sometimes in some ways. I think it's still going to be a good budget phone in the market. Thanks for watching this review guys. If you enjoyed, you're free to hit the like button right below and also hit that subscribe button below. That wraps up this video. I'll catch you guys later.